Hello and welcome. Welcome to the CodeJumper lesson on algorithms. So today we are going to be using CodeJumper and learning all about algorithms and some basics of computer science. So my name is Robin, and together we will be working through all of the lessons and the hands-on activities learning about algorithms. So let's go ahead and get started. But before we get started in diving into really what algorithms are, I'd like to introduce the idea of the Computer Science Journal. So the Computer Science Journal is where you will be writing down your questions, vocabulary words, and answers to questions that will be as we go through this lesson. But the Computer Science Journal is not any specific place. This is wherever you would like it to be. So if you like to use print, you can use paper and pencil, or you can, if you prefer Braille, write it on your Braille writer, write it in your note taker, or even type it, doing touch typing and put it into a Word doc, Google Doc, but have the Computer Science Journal in a format that you like so you can use it throughout all of the lessons that we will have for these great CodeJumper mini lessons. So make sure you have it for every lesson and have it either near you or access to it on your computer. So go ahead and pause your video. Go get the materials you need for your Computer Science Journal if you don't already have them, and have it handy next to you. So once you have all your materials, press play again. All right, so let's talk about the first thing we're going to learn about when we're talking about algorithms. So vocabulary is really important. We need to know the words that we're going to be using to learn about algorithms. So today we have 4 new vocabulary words. The first one is sequence. A sequence is where one action is followed by another action. We see this all the time in our day-to-day life. We go through certain steps. We see how things go, one thing after next. That's a sequence, when one thing happens after one after another. Okay, our next word is algorithm. An algorithm is a step-by-step process to complete a task. So another way to look at this, it's a list. So it's a list of steps to complete a task. And we do this all the time in our schools and at home. Thinking about your school day. First you go to maybe your math class, and then you go to do some science. Maybe then it's reading, and then it's writing. So you're going the step-by-step process. Those are the sequence. But an algorithm, think about tying your shoes. So you go through specific steps. First you put on your shoe, and then you tighten up your laces, and then you tie it into a bow. So you have to do these specific steps in a row in order to get your shoes on and get them tied. So that's an algorithm, the steps you take. The next vocabulary word is command. So this is an instruction for the computer. So we need to tell the computer what to do. It doesn't know what to do until we tell it what to do. And many of these commands put together make up algorithms and computer programs. So these vocabulary words are really on each other. So a command is an instruction for the computer. You hit the on button. That's the command. You hit that button, it tells it, oh, it's time for me to turn on. When you're typing, you press a letter. You're telling the computer, type that letter. So now we have computer programs. So that's an instruction for the computer. So many of these commands put together make up algorithms and computer programs. So we put all of these things together to make all of our computer programs work. So those are our vocabulary words. If you'd like to review these again, stop the video, rewind a little bit, and listen to them again and write them down in your computer science journal. All right, so then start the video again once you have your vocabulary written down, if you choose to do that. Okay, so we're going to start out with a thinking question. So we learned about a vocabulary word: sequence, algorithm, command, and a computer program. So besides computers, where else could an algorithm be used? So where else can you use an algorithm? I gave an example, so go ahead and pause the video and in your computer science journal, write down other places where algorithms would really be helpful. And once you're done writing, start the video again. Okay, so now hopefully you have your question answered and you're thinking about algorithms and all these lists of steps and how that applies to our lives. Well, let's jump into CodeJumper itself. So let's talk a little bit about the pieces and parts. On the screen right now, I have a picture of CodeJumper, but we're going to dive in and look at it more in depth and hands-on. So I'm changing my screen to be the CodeJumper app. We're going to have a document camera showing my actual CodeJumper. And we are also going to just have a picture of this, just of all of our pieces and parts. So what I'd like you to do is make sure you have on your desk right now the hub. So the hub is our largest component. It's pretty big. It's much bigger than the rest of the command pods, which are about the size of a computer mouse. So if you don't already have it on your desk, go ahead and pause the video and put it onto your desk in a comfortable spot. We'll be waiting for you when you get back. Great, so hopefully everybody has the hub on their desk. But we're actually going to start to begin with the CodeJumper app. So the app is should be downloaded already to your computer. So go ahead and open the app if it's not already open. You can feel free to pause the video and restart once you have the app open. Okay, so the app has a few different parts to it. So let's go over those. So up on the top of the taskbar, we have options. We have one for Bluetooth, and that's how the hub, which we just put on our desk, it connects to the app. So that Bluetooth, no Bluetooth button is what mine says right now, because I haven't turned on my CodeJumper hub yet, and we'll do that in a minute. To the right of that, we have the sounds button, and the sounds button will help you add in custom sounds, not just the ones we already have. The About button gives us information about CodeJumper and how to find the CodeJumper website. Then we have the Play button, and the Play button, you can either press play from the app or the hub itself. We have the Read button, and the Read button is important because you can read your code. So you can listen to your program, but you can also hear the code by pressing the Read button. And finally, to the right of that, we have the Stop button. And remember, all of these buttons can be used just with your keyboard. You can tab through everything to get to what you need. So right below that, we have our 4 threads, which means we can have 4 lines of code going at the same time. So we have thread 1, thread 2, thread 3, and thread 4. Okay, so the thread 1, it's a little bar that says thread 1, and right to the right of that, it says Twinkle Twinkle, and those are our sound sets. When I click on Twinkle Twinkle, it gives me the option to change whatever sound set I have to a different one. We have different categories. There's sample sounds, MIDI instruments, and custom sounds. So right now we're just going to stick with the sample sounds. And then below that, by tabbing below, you can get to all the different sound sets that are in there. Currently, mine is set to Twinkle Twinkle, but I can even change it to Row Your Boat or whatever we want. Okay, so take a moment, pause the video, and explore the app for a few minutes. Make sure you know where the Bluetooth button is, the sound buttons, all those ones at the top, and then go down to the next level and look at the threads and explore choosing a different sound set. And make sure you understand that that's where you can change your sounds. This is also where we will have a visual representation of the code, and it's in block coding format. So you'll see each line of code as a block of text. So now I'd like to jump over and explore the hub a little bit more. Okay, so the hub is our largest component. And to orient the hub, The easiest way to think about this is to have the rocker switch, the switch we turn on, away from your body. And on the front of the hub are 4 ports, like little plugs. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 from left to right. Have those facing your body. So then when we feel the top of the hub, we have a speaker towards the back of the hub. You can feel a whole bunch of little holes in there. And just below that, you have 2 circles, a larger one with a little triangle inscribed into it. That is how we play our code. That is our play button. And then we have our stop button. And this is how we will stop our code from running. Okay, so that is the hub. And the other one we're going to learn about today is the play pod. And if you don't have the play pod out yet, I will do a quick description so you can find it in your kit and then pause your video and go get 4 play pods. So the play pod is blue and white. It has 2 dials. What's the shape of a computer mouse? Let's say that first. It's the shape of a computer mouse. There's 2 dials on top. One that's tall with ridges and one that's short and flat, more like a donut with some lines going around it. Over by the tall ridged dial, there's a port, just like we had on the hub, where you can plug a cord into. And on the opposite side, the side by the dial that's short and fat, is a cord that we can then plug into either the hub or into another command pod. Okay, so pause the video and make sure you have on your desk 1 hub and 4 play pods. All right, so pause the video and we'll see you when you come back with all of your parts and pieces. So that's 1 hub, 4 play pods. All right, so now that you have all of your components on your desk, let's go ahead and turn our hub on. So the way we do this is with the rocker switch that's away from our body, we switch it all the way and turn it to the left. So the further you turn it to the left, the louder it goes, because that's also our sound dial, sound level dial. Okay, so now we wait, we hear it click, and that click means it's connected to our computer, to our app. So that first, the first little button option that said no Bluetooth before now says Bluetooth, and I know my hub's connected because I heard it click. So I heard it click, so I know it's connected. So let's get into it. So now I'm going to go back to my slideshow and we're going to actually build a program. So we're going to build Twinkle Twinkle. So I'll have the code card up on the screen, but you can also have the print copy next to you as well. That was provided with the video. Okay. So I have a code card, and this tells me what program I'm actually going to be building. So it says code card, Twinkle Twinkle. And it says thread, and underneath the next line down, thread 1, Twinkle Twinkle. So that tells me that I'm going to have to put my command pods into thread 1. And the commands, remember we learned about the definition of command. It says what we're telling our computer to do. So it says play, so that's our command, and these are our command pods. Play Twinkle 1 for 1 times speed. Okay, and then the next line, play Twinkle 2 for 1 times speed. Play Little for 1 times speed. Play Star for 1 times speed, end thread. So we have our beginning, thread 1, Twinkle Twinkle, and we know we're done with our program when it says end thread. And we have 4 commands in there. So our algorithm has 4 steps, those 4 different play pods. Okay, so now let's dive in and get to the actual building. So I'm going to change my view. So I am looking at my CodeJumper kit and looking at also at the app, as well as I'm going to be looking at my code card. It's good to have your code card near you so you know what you need to build. Okay, so let's get started. If you need a moment to pause to get all your things together, then take that moment, pause, and then come start the video again when you're ready. So our first command is telling us thread 1 twinkle twinkle. So I'm going to go to the app, and when I went down to thread 1, I'm going to choose twinkle twinkle. So I select thread 1 and the sound set, and I tab over or use my mouse and go to twinkle twinkle. So I'm just going to arrow down until I find twinkle twinkle. I hit enter, enter, enter. I'm going to click OK. All right, fantastic. Now my sound set is going to give us the right sound. So I take one of my play pods, doesn't matter which one, and I'm going to insert the cord into thread 1 and listen for the click. All right, so if it doesn't click the first time, try again. Okay, so I heard that click. And then, so if I read the code, so remember we have the read the code option in the app, but also if I press both buttons on the hub, it will read the code to me.
Thread, twinkle, play.
Okay, and thread. So this lets me know what I actually have plugged in. So we can play it and listen, but we can also read the code. So I'm going to take my second play pod and I'm going to plug it into my first one. So remember, at the end of the play pod by the tall ridge dial, there's another port. All right, put that in there. I'm going to read my code again and see what it tells me that is plugged in. Okay, so we know that our second line of code needed to be play Twinkle 2. So I'm going to turn the dial until I hear it say twinkle, until I hear the second twinkle sound. So I'm going to actually first play my program. That's not right. So twinkle 1 is correct. That's our first one. But this is supposed to be twinkle 2, because if you remember the song, twinkle, twinkle, little star, the second twinkle is a little bit higher. So let's try to find that one. Nope. Aha, so that is twinkle 2. And you can also keep doing the run, turn the dial and run the code. Putting in our third one because our code card said twinkle 1, play twinkle 2, and now play little. So let's turn our dial and see if it's correct. Start, so we can go left or right with our dial. Okay, that's what we needed to hear. So now we have twinkle 1, we have twinkle 2, and now we have little. At any time, pause your video and play with it. Okay, I need one more play pod. Okay, here's my fourth play pod. I'm going to plug that in. You heard it click? Okay, and we'll see what our code card says. It says play star for 1 time speed. So I'm going to turn the dial until it says star. Okay, so I'm going to run the code really quickly and let's listen. But as I go, I'm going to touch each of the play pods so I know if there's an error, which one I'm looking at. So here we go, pressing both the stop and the play button at the same time. Okay, those are our codes. Those should be correct. So now I'm just going to hit the play button and let's listen. All right, that's Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So we just created a computer program. We went through our sequence. We know we had to put play pods in a row, one after another. We created the algorithm because we told the program what to do for each step. And then we had our command. These are all play. And then we have our computer program, which is the whole thing together, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. So my suggestion is take some time. If it went too fast for you, you rewind the program, the video, and watch it again, or just look at it through the code card. So I'm going to play it one more time so you can hear that. All right, so that is your first program, just coding Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Nice job. So what else can you do on your own after the video is over? Well, let's take a look and see what exploration is available for the algorithm lesson. So I'm going to go ahead and open the, I'm going to open the PowerPoint again. Okay, so in your sound sets, if you remember your sound sets, there's one called Make New Friends. And there is a code card that you can follow along for the song Make New Friends. If you're not sure of the song, I'll do a quick rendition of it. It says, make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other's gold. A circle is round, it has no end. That's how long I want to be your friend. So you can build this song also using the algorithm, which is on our code card. Building the sequence, then making the algorithm, using your commands, and creating this computer program. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson on algorithms using CodeJumper. Thanks for participating.